You guys see this? Do you see all of this? This is what happens in Lancaster, Pennsylvania when you're a Buffalo Bills fan and your team loses to the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, yeah, and it gets worse, by the way. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this trade episode of Believers Talk. We are just moments away from the trade deadline. Let me get this camera fixed back up for us here, guys. Again, welcome to Believers Talk. If you are new to the channel, again, hit that subscribe button, like this video, share this video. Let people know we are here and we are live for the trade deadline. Trade deadline coming at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, currently 3:45. So again, thank you for joining me. I wanted to show off my new office, although after 4:30 today, I promise you will all be taken down. But welcome to Believers Talk. Glad to get that back up and going for you. If you are new, like I said, my name is Joe. We are currently on Twitter, and we're also on all the NFL pages, trying to make sure we don't miss anything when it comes to the trade deadline. So again, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. If you have any questions, thoughts on the trade, wonder why I'm wearing Eagles stuff, then we could talk about that as I make sure that everything's going okay here. I hope Buffalo makes an offensive line move at least. Welcome Young Kling to the stream. Again, guys, if you're new, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this video, as I know people are just getting in here. Hey, Ricky Graves. Welcome to Believers Talk. Let me turn this off. If you guys didn't see, I'm wearing a Carson Wentz jersey. Again, oh, and I'm wearing this little medallion thing too. If you don't know, I made a bet with my boss. I lost. Welcome, Ronald, to Believers Talk. Like I said, trade deadline just 10 minutes away here. I'm at the office, of course, so you might have to excuse a little bit of the mess and technical issues if we have it. But again, welcome to Believers Talk. We're here for the trade deadline. Young King came in here and says that we hope we make an offensive line move. So far, a very quiet trade deadline day in the NFL. Not much going on. Again, we're following everything here. We know that Le'Veon Bell has been listed as a possible rumor trade candidate for the JTS Jets. Looking at Ronald, what he says, guys, my laptop's over here, so that's why you'll see me facing back and forth. But I want to just get on here real quick. Again, 10 minutes till the trade deadline. Haven't heard much yet. So we're still looking to see what happens. I did lose a bet, Ricky. I lost a bet. You should see my office. It's all decorated in Eagles stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens sometimes when you live in the Philadelphia area. So we'll see what we can do here at the trade deadline. But yeah, I'm wearing a Carson Wentz jersey here, and I'm wearing I have like an Eagles foam finger type thing here that they got for me. So yeah, they had a good time with it, so I'm happy about that. But now we're talking trade deadline. Again, less than 10 minutes away from the trade deadline. So we're going to see if the Buffalo Bills are doing anything. Again, as of right now, we haven't done anything. No one really has. Again, not too much going on the last day before the trade deadline is over. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday. Hope you guys are enjoying your week so far. We're going to keep you up to date. Again, we know that Adams is available. We know that Le'Veon Bell might be available. We know that the Bengals sat Andy Dalton today, so they announced that. So that's new. And so some people are thinking, well, if you're obviously in tank mode, maybe you trade AJ Green. I don't know what you guys think about that. Should the Buffalo Bills still be looking at AJ Green? There's quite a bit going on everywhere else, just not in Buffalo. Yeah, not too much going on in Buffalo here. The Rams sent Anquan Talib to the Dolphins, which doesn't make too much sense to me, just because if you're rebuilding, I don't know why you would get an older veteran like that. Patriots get rid of Mike Nugent, so that's news. Our defense problems and yeah, our defense has had problems for 2 games. Offense has had problems the whole season, says Young King. You can agree with that. I mean, we might need some offensive help here, but maybe Dable's okay with how things look. I'm not sure. What or Dable. Maybe Dable too. But GM Brandon Bean, maybe he's all right with how things are going in Buffalo right now, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, 7 minutes till the trade deadline. But just because 4 o'clock hits doesn't mean there's not a trade that's been given to the league that just hasn't been hasn't been sent to around the league for news sources. So we'll stay on here a little bit till past 4 o'clock and see if anything happens. Like I said, right now, if you go on NFL.com, the Cowboys are expressing interest in the Jets, Adams and Jamal Adams from the New York Jets. Again, the Rams traded Aqib Talib, and a fifth rounder to the Dolphins. So that's news there. What the Dolphins give up. I'm trying to see what the Dolphins gave up. Some of you might already know, but that's something that's currently on the on NFL.com. But now, guys, not as many as you would hope to see, and that's normally the case with the NFL trade deadline. I would say the NFL trade deadline is probably the least exciting out of these other sports. Most of the time, every once in a while you get a big deal, and we still might get a last minute deal here, but most of the time I'll say that the signing trade deadline day for the NFL is a little bit different than the other sports. Ronnie X says they need to do something. ZD says I'd also love to get Devontae Parker. I'm not sure if we do need to do something. I know that we expect, like, are the Bills one move away, right? And that's my question to you guys. Are the Bills one move away, or is there a plan that we can do via the draft that can make us a better contender next season? Again, you talk to me at the beginning of the season, I say as long as you finish above 500, you're meeting my expectations. However, and now with the 5-1 start, now 5-2, obviously expectations got a little bit higher and higher. But still, there's no reason for that. I mean, the Buffalo Bills are a decent team. They're beating the teams we're supposed to beat. And as long as we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, we'll make the playoffs. We'll get that playoff experience. Maybe we can pull off an upset in the first round, beat a division winner. Maybe not. Who knows? But obviously, getting to the dance, like I said yesterday, getting to the dance is the most important step in that process. Once you get to the dance, you can worry about how you're going to tango. But getting to the dance is the most important part. Can we trade for an offensive coordinator? I know a lot of people don't like Dable. A lot of people don't like Dable, which is funny because if you listen to national media, a lot of people are talking about him as a potential head coach candidate in the near future. So, it all depends if you're listening to local media. A lot of people don't like Dable. If you're listening to outside sources, a lot of people think that Dable is doing a good job and that he is a potential head coach candidate. And a lot of Bills fans think that's crazy, but what can you do? And again, I'm just going through my Twitter feed, seeing if anything's happening. Nothing happening in Buffalo right now. And nothing happening at NFL.com either. Just continue to go back and forth, see what's going on there. Also go on some other media sites, see if anyone gets a news story before I do. Ian Rappaport, that's at 353. The Cowboys and Jets don't have a deal for Jamal Adams. The Broncos don't have a deal for Chris Harris as they held firm. Okay, that's what Ian Rappaport reports most recently. Again, not much going on here on trade deadline. It doesn't look like the Broncos are going to be trading Chris Harris Jr. Doesn't look like the Jets will be trading Jamal Adams. Some of these things, it doesn't look like the Jets are trading Le'Veon Bell. That was a big story to start the day. Again, guys, thank you for joining me on Bill-ievers Talk. Again, this special edition as the trade deadline nears, gets closer and closer, 5 minutes away now. I have no idea why the Bengals wouldn't move A.J. Green. Feels like, why wouldn't they get rid of A.J. Green? If you're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals being in complete tank mode, obviously that's what's going on here. And why, if you're in complete tank mode, are you holding on to a veteran like A.J. Green? I'm not sure. A.J. Green can still get you some value in the trade market, but we'll see what happens. I think Ken Dorsey needs to take over as our new offensive coordinator. I think he'll do better than Dable. He's doing pretty good at getting Allen's progression up there, right? We have to be happy with the continued improvement of Josh Allen. Hasn't thrown an interception in 3 games now. Actually, no, 2 games. He did throw a pick in the Titans game, so hasn't thrown an interception in 2 straight games. That's an improvement from where he has been in his career so far. So we have to be happy with that. Skins want a first and more for their left tackle over there, so probably won't be doing that. Again, we know how much Brandon Beane and Coach McDermott love their draft capital. Ken Dorsey will definitely next year, especially if our offense continues to look. And that's an interesting question too. Will Coach Dable make it through the whole season, or won't he? And that's something that I think we're not signing crap. Well, it's not signing, Jack. It's trading, right? This is the trade deadline, so we'll see what happens. But again, you have to ask yourself, what do the Bills have to give away as well? So a lot of stuff going on, just not too much in Buffalo. His accuracy has gotten better. Yeah, I mean, look at this season, over 60% accuracy. Again, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, 7-0 when he throws over 60%. Unfortunately, he didn't do that a lot last season, only 2 times. He's done 5 times this season. You have to like that. So obviously, Ken Dorsey is improving the quarterback position. Can he do that to a whole offense? We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But again, guys, thank you for joining me on this, like I said, this special edition of the trade deadline. Like this video, share this video, let people know we're here. And like I said, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, hit that subscribe button to keep you up to date on all Buffalo Bills news. Here I'm at work, and I took a few minutes off of work just so I can bring you guys the trade deadline. We'll constantly be giving you breaking news as it happens. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And like I said, like this video. Any news on Levi Wallace? I haven't heard anything on Levi Wallace just yet. I'm looking up Trent Williams stuff right now. Again, as was mentioned, the Redskins want first for Trent Williams and more. So it'll be interesting to see if they get something like that. But now I'm going on Bill's pages as well, see if anything's happening, and nothing is going on. So let me know in the comment section, will you be disappointed if there are no trades by the Buffalo Bills prior to the trade deadline? Some people saying that the trade deadline should be later in the year. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think the trade deadline is a little too early? Here we are, week 8, and the trade deadline's here. A lot of teams still think they're in it, right? And that's why a lot of teams aren't selling. Not all the teams are like the Dolphins or Bengals here, and they know that they're out of it. I doubt we make any moves, in my opinion, says Elliot. At this point, I would be surprised too. We're just coming across 4 o'clock on the East Coast, so not much going on, and not much news around the NFL regarding the Buffalo Bills. And again, maybe that's by design. We thought it was possible that the Bills were happy with what they have, and they didn't want to give up what they would have to give up to get a player, right? We're not going to give up a first-round draft pick. We might not even give up a second-round draft pick. You have to ask yourself, I saw earlier in the chat, we give a third for Kevin Benjamin. Are we willing to give up a third for another wide receiver? The Kevin Benjamin deal didn't work out that well for us. Let's put it that way. So are we willing to give up a third for that? And that was a whole different regime. Again, we know Brandon Beane. We know this regime, how much they love their draft capital. So again, yes, thank you, Ron Enix. Hit that like button, guys. I appreciate that. If we trade, it won't be for a flashy trade. Yeah, no, Angry Buffalo sports fan, I agree with that at this point. A lot of big names out there, but I just don't see the Buffalo Bills being one of the teams interested in any of those. So it's officially 4 o'clock, which means the trade deadline has come to a close, which means we should be hearing news here shortly. Again, a lot of teams, when they're looking for a trade, and some people saying, well, that was anticlimactic. A lot of teams, when they look for a trade, kind of like with the draft, right? They'll wait till the last second, see if any better offers come out before they finally say, hey, we're willing to make this trade. Ain't the trade deadline over at 4 p.m.? Yes, Lamar Jackson, the trade deadline is officially over. However, just because something is being presented to the league right now doesn't mean that media sources have gotten their hands on it yet. So we'll wait another 5-10 minutes, see if anything exciting has happened. Ricky Graves said, I think the trade line should be week 10. Yeah, some people think it should be later. Obviously, you might see more action, more activity if it was later in the year, more sellers and buyers. Young King, 60 passes, 1 reception, and how many fumbles? We need Allen to run less and trust his receivers running their routes to be where they need to be. We haven't really gotten open. I mean, that's the problem. We haven't gotten separation. Any games like Sunday's game, 30-mile-per-hour winds, you can't rely on the deep ball as much. So I have an issue with the designed runs for Allen. And again, I have an issue with Allen running the ball as much as Frank Gore is, and we're not running Devin Singletary as much. But at the end of the day, if you want to trust your receivers to get open, they have to actually get open. I'll be disappointed for sure if we don't trade for anything. Ain't the trade deadline over? It is over. It just officially ended on the Eastern Coast, but again, East Coast. But again, just because the trade deadline's over doesn't mean that the NFL hasn't received a call just now at 4 o'clock and it's not gone public yet. Still nothing going on. Nothing going on. So I came on here live to pretty much give you guys nothing. Guys, I'll be live Thursday to preview the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Washington Redskins. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I will also be live this Sunday as Bill-ievers Talk and #Sports team up to give you the best 2019 live play-by-play and reaction coverage to the Buffalo Bills. whether it be on YouTube or also over on Sportscaster. So make sure you tune in for that. But again, guys, not too much going on. I lost the bet. That's why you see me wearing the Eagles jersey. Looking forward to 5 o'clock so I can take that off. The trade room with AJ Green with the Eagles and Saints. Again, trade deadline has come and passed, so we'll see if either of them have made a move. Deshaun Jackson listed as back at practice, so we got to face the Eagles before Deshaun Jackson comes back. Now he's coming back, hopefully for them. Might help them out. And, as you can tell, I'm surrounded by Eagles fans, so we'll see what happens. But nothing going on in the trade deadline, so I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry if you guys were excited about the trade deadline, hoping we do something. I'm a little disappointed as Kenneth Osborne, but maybe the asking prices are too steep for Bean. And that's one thing we all should love about Brandon Bean. Brandon Bean sets a price for someone and he doesn't go above that price, right? He says this player is worth this or this trade pick is worth this, and he doesn't go above that. And I appreciate that, not reaching for things when they're a little bit more expensive. We talked about Robbie Anderson and we talked about Devontae Parker. Maybe a little too rich since it was a division trade. So unfortunately, nothing happened for the Buffalo Bills. But thank you for joining me on this quick edition of Believers Talk. Again, went live for the trade deadline here, live at work. Took a few minutes off of work just to make sure to keep you guys up to date on everything happening in the NFL. Marcel Louis Jaquez, the ESPN beat writer for the Bills, just tweeted out, Adam Schefter says a lot of chatter, a lot of people scared to make trades, and that's kind of part of it too. We thought that if we saw, it's like a domino effect, right? If we were seeing one big trade, then the domino effect would come in play and possibly we've seen more, but there were just no big trades out there. We saw Aqib Talib traded from the Rams to the Dolphins today. It's probably the biggest trade of the day. We saw some interest from some other names, but just nothing happening in the AFC other than the Dolphins getting draft capital, of course. But yeah, as Matt Perino just tweeted out, hard pill to swallow in a bad AFC, and don't let it stop you from hoping, dreaming. But the truth is the Bills aren't close enough to sacrifice day 1 or day 2 picks for anything but a home run. Sure thing. Don't think that existed in the market. Buffalo Bills to stay on course. Brandon Bean to stay on course, whichever the BB means. I'm sure it's Brandon Bean. And that's something that, again, nothing on BB.com, that's for sure. So that's something, again, that you have to look at. Again, Brandon Bean's going to stay to the course. Again, trust the as was said before. So again, thank you guys for joining me on this quick edition of Believers Talk as we talk about the trade deadline. Trade deadline's coming past 4:05 now on the East Coast. So just wanted to get on here and see if there's any last minute excitement, and there wasn't. There really wasn't. That we have seen. Again, if something breaks, I will bring it to you live right here on Believers Talk, so make sure you stay tuned. Again, guys, didn't know if you saw it, go back to the beginning of the video. You can see my office decor all decked out in Eagle stuff. Unfortunately, sometimes I don't make the smartest bets, but congratulations to my boss on winning her bet. And, we'll continue to make bets like this if that's what helps this team win. So, again, thank you guys for joining me. Bill's still 5-2. No one made a trade deal deadline, so no one else in the AFC got much better either. So we'll wait to see what happens the rest of the year. Again, be live. First tomorrow I'll come out with my pick'em video for this coming week. I'll also on Thursday be live, giving you live coverage pregame of the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Washington Redskins. So join me for that. Again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you disappointed that the Bills didn't go out and make a trade? Who would you have traded and for what if you could have, if you can play GM for a day? And what pieces do you think the Bills are short of to make a big push in the playoffs? Again, I didn't expect much out of this season other than an above 500 record. I did predict 11-5, so I was hoping we make the playoffs. But next year is when I hope we make leaps and bounds for the Buffalo Bills, possibly go for that division. So again, guys, thank you for joining my Believers Talk. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Unfortunately, no news, but maybe no news is good news. I'll talk to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.